Well, question one's all about radioactivity, and the first part is asking us about background radiation. So it says radon is a natural source of background radiation. Name another natural source. The biggest mistake that people make here is not reading the radon here and putting down radon as the answer. And you can't do that if it says another natural source. So you just have to know the list of natural sources of background, which is any one of the ones on the mark scheme here. So that one's fairly straightforward. Second part, a little bit trickier. X-rays are an artificial source of background, another artificial source of background. There are fewer to choose from to start with, but basically anything to do with the nuclear industry. Nuclear power, nuclear accidents, nuclear weapons testing. It doesn't allow just nuclear activity. You have to be specific and mention one of those three things. You're allowed to mention a specific accident that happened. The Chernobyl disaster is the one that everyone's heard of. But what you aren't allowed to do is to say medical. And the reason you can't say medical is because X-rays are an example of medical as well. You can be specific and say a medical procedure which isn't an X-ray, so radiotherapy would be fine. And the reason, by the way, you're not allowed CT scans is that CT scans use X-rays. So that's not really another example, it's just a different type of use of X-rays. And the last part of the question is not to do with the background radiation, but just to do with radioactive decay. And all it's asking you to do is nothing to do with worrying about alpha particle decay, really. All it's asking for is how do you know that this atom here, this atom of X, some unknown element, is not an atom of radon. Now the only thing that makes a difference is the atomic number or proton number, which is the bottom number here, the 86 for the radon and the 84 for this element X, which we don't need to know about. So all you need to say, it's got a different atomic number or different number of protons. Very important to realise, though, that you can't kind of hedge your bets and say, well, it's got to be one of the numbers that's different. If I write both of them, then I'll get the mark. You can't do that. It says down here, reference to the mass number negates this mark. So if you put the atomic number is different and the mass number is different, you wouldn't get the mark. Only the atomic number matters.